God. What is behind the stars? God. What is behind the fire? God. What is behind any type of light? It's only God. But really here he is referring to, supposing it is midday, brightly the sun is shining, but I am absolutely blind. Can I see the sun? Even though it is existing, to know that it is existing, I must have that consciousness. Suppose I am not blind, but I am sleeping. Will I know that the sun is shining? So what is he referring to? The consciousness must be there to recognize. You see, we have to recognize this is a human being, this is an animal, this is a tree, this is a mountain, this is a river. Even though they are there, even though light may be there to illumine them, but to know what is correctly, what is that object, I must have that consciousness in the form of knowledge, to know this is this, this is this, this is not this, this is not this. It's a story, humorous story. Why the sun goes round and round, day and night. The sun was born, she was out of Brahma, and he grew up into a young man, and he wanted to get married. So he heard of a girl called Nisha. You know Nisha? Night. So he heard that she is very beautiful, wonderful, everybody loves to embrace her. So he said, I must marry that. So he googled, where is this Nisha to be found? And he is other side of the world. He is here and Nisha is on the other side of the world. So immediately he started. And by evening time, whatever you call it, and what will be our evening, he reached there. I mean, our evening here. We are still here. He has gone to the other side. Then he met a villager. Does Nisha live here? They said, yes. So can I meet her? No. Because she heard about you, she went in search of you. So he started the journey back. So when he reached the east, Nisha was found in the west. He reached west, Nisha was found. Day and night he is chasing her. He will continue because when the sun reaches there, there will be no Nisha.
That's very nice.
See, how wonderful our Puranas can produce wonderful stories. So the whole point is, without that consciousness from within us, we cannot recognize anything. Let there be sun, let there be moon, let there be no sun, let there be no moon, we cannot. That is the point he is telling. Consciousness is the real light. Only then we can recognize this is a sun, this is a moon, this is a star, etc. Is it not? Jyotisham api tad jyotihi tamasaha param uchyate. Wherever the ultimate reality is, wherever that pure consciousness is, there is no unconscious thing at all. Because consciousness and unconsciousness don't go together. Where there is sun, there is no night. Yeah, otherwise, So, two fellows were talking. One fellow was a NASA scientist, and he heard, the other fellow heard that they made a satellite which can go to the sun. Then this fellow was so enthusiastic, come on, let us go to the sun and see what it is. And that fellow said, you can't go to the sun because it will burn you out. तो उसमें क्या बात है, रात को जाएंगे. We will go at night. How will you go to the sun at night? Will there be night if you go to the sun? Yeah. You see, something very wonderful you should know. So, the sun is rising and you can see the whole light. The sky is so bright, so blue, is it not? You know, if you go a little bit above the stratosphere, pitch dark. Do you know that? Pitch dark. You know why? Because there is no medium through which light can be recognized. This is a most wonderful psychological fact. Light is not an independent object. Light is that condition under which you can have knowledge of things. That's all. It is not an object. We are under the delusion, it is an object. It is not an object. But to be able to recognize the light, there must be an object. But what we understand is, if there is light, I can see the object. What we don't think about is, if there is no object, you will not know what is light. Do you understand that fact? Any object reveals light. If there to be no object at all, you will never know what is light. This fact can be experienced when you go there above certain atmosphere. There is no medium through which light can be revealed. It is not that light is not there. Light is everywhere. But there is no medium by which that light can be perceived by us. That is why it appears to be completely dark. So what is the point? The point is, let there be light, let there not be light, but if there is no consciousness, then you cannot recognize either darkness or light at all. So that which controls, that is called Jyotisham Jyotihi. The light of the light means that which also makes you recognize what is light, without which you cannot recognize what is light or what is darkness. That ultimate reality. That is one of the descriptions of ultimate reality. Jyotisham api tad jyoti. Tamasah paramuchyate. It is beyond the darkness. And it is gnanam, gneyam, gnanagamyam. Here what is called gnanam means instrument. Gneyam means that which is to be known. Gnanagamya means the experience that comes after knowing what is to be known. To make this point clear, I will give it. You are hungry. You want to eat food. There is a nice sweet meat on the table. Now, first of all, you must have the instrument. What is the instrument here? Rasgulla cannot be eaten by the mind. It can be only eaten by the body. Hand eats Rasgulla. I never heard it. First time I am hearing it. Hand only grasps. So the point is that Gnanam is instrument. That instrument is also God. Gneyam. Okay, here is a wonderful sweet meat. It is to be obtained, to be eaten. That is Gneyam, goal. And then Gnana Gamyam. Through this instrument, through this knowledge, I want to experience that. You actually go, take the Rasgulla, put it in the mouth, eat it and say, it is a very nice sweet meat. So the instrument, the object or goal of the instrument, and the experience that comes out of this interaction of both, all these three is nothing but God. So this body comes from where? From God. The objects that we experience, what are they? They are also God. And when we experience that object, who is the real experiencer? Bhokta. That is also God. Is another way of saying nothing else exists excepting God. That is the simple truth. So with this, the Lord says, iti kshetram tatha jnanam gneyam choktam samasatah madbhakta etad vijnaya madbhavaya upapadyate. So having said this, Lord Krishna is telling to Arjuna, you have asked 6 questions, I have answered 4 questions. What is kshetra? What is Ksetra-Ksetrajna? What is Gnana? What is Gneya? I have answered 4. Now 2 more questions remain to be answered. That I will answer, and that is what he is telling. Very briefly I describe to you what is Kshetra, what is Ksetra-Ksetrajna, what is Jnana, what is Jnaya, and I will also tell you the last two questions also. I will answer what is Prakriti and what is Purusha. I have very briefly I answered you, but briefly means what? That is enough to serve your purpose. Briefness doesn't mean incomprehensibility. One fellow got a training, efficiency training, time utilization training, how to utilize time very properly. Don't waste time. You have to utilize it 100% and efficient way. So he understood, came back. He wanted to phone to his assistant, lifted phone. Listen, I am not going to repeat. I am going to speak within half a minute. And listen carefully and do what I ask you to do. Blah, 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 blah. Did you understand? He said, no, I didn't understand a word of what you said. What is the use of your time management if the other fellow, yes, you have spoken what you want to speak in half a minute, but the fellow didn't understand a single thing. What is the Lord saying? Whatever I have told you is more than adequate for you to get what you want. You wanted something from me and I gave it to you, and what I gave you is very brief, but that brief is enough, more than enough. What is that? What is that you wanted? That's what he is telling. Etad vijnaya, whatever I said, having known that properly, mad bhaktaha, my devotee, mad bhavaya upapadyate. He will attain me. He will understand me. He will realize me. What else you want? The Guru says to the disciple, you do japam, you will reach God. What else does he need to know? Zen master, always is awareness. So one man approached him and said, Lord, give me a teaching so I can follow. So the Zen master was not talking. He took up a small piece of paper, awareness. The disciple was puzzled. What do you mean by awareness? Answer. Awareness means awareness. I did not understand it properly. What do you mean by awareness? Awareness means awareness. Third time he gave. What is the point? Point is you want to realize God. You want to go beyond the bondage of samsara. You want to become blessed. So that you will never again experience any grief in your life again in future. I have given you all the teachings, more than enough for your digestive power. That's what is it. If you have understood what I told you, then you would have realized God. But still, the questions have not been complete. So that's what we are going to discuss in our next class. What is Prakriti and what is Purusha? I know this chapter is a bit difficult chapter, but this is the best I can do.